reaching out to the homeless.
They're not connected to the resources. They don't know what's available.
Taking care of people in the bitter cold. Officers cleared after they shot and killed a man in a Calgary neighborhood. And a place to call home.
A place to rest, a place to heal, a place to build a future with their families.
More funding for affordable housing.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. Calgary's cold snap continues, and it's leaving the city's most vulnerable population at the highest risk. Teams are scanning the city to provide warmth for those in need. Jordan Canigan joins us from Windsport with more. And Jordan, today was even too cold to ski safely outside.
You know, Ian, after weeks of warmer weather, the snow finally arrived back in Calgary. Unfortunately, so too did the cold weather. That's especially bad news for the ski hill here at Windsport. They were closed all day today to keep people inside and safe. But of course, not everyone has the option or the opportunity to be inside to warm up. That's where several outreach teams in Calgary step in. Mobile warming stations like this one provide hot coffee, soup, sandwiches for those who need it. Heaters running full blast also provide a reprieve from the bitter temperatures for the city's homeless population. Teams are also out on patrol with hats, gloves, socks, food, and more. It's about making sure people aren't just braving the cold, but ensuring they're surviving.
Part of what we're trying to do is reach people that might be slipping through the cracks. And we often encounter a lot of people here, some that are new to homelessness. They're not connected to the resources. They don't know what's available. Maybe they don't even know that there is a housing list that we can help them get on.
Now, as for Windsport, the plan for tomorrow is to reopen the ski hill. Of course, it's still going to be very, very cold tomorrow, but we're hoping it warms up just enough to allow people to bundle up and hit the slopes at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Ian?
Bundle up indeed. Thanks very much, Jordan. Danielle joins us with a first look at the weather. So how long will the extreme cold last?
Well, temperatures will regulate a little bit by Friday, so it will be more reasonable, but still well below normal on Friday. We're not going to get close to that freezing mark until next week. Tuesday, Wednesday is when we'll get close to that. So, you know, brace for this for the rest of this week. Minus 23 is the base temperature at the airport, but with the wind chill, it feels more like minus 32. And it will get even worse by tomorrow morning. So, again, small chance of seeing the isolated snowflake, but we're not looking at any accumulation, nothing like yesterday. Minus 25 overnight with a wind chill of minus 30. By the morning, though, when off to work and school, a wind chill of minus 37. So you can get frostbite in basically less than 20 minutes to exposed skin. So certainly layer up and bundle up if you do have to head out. And by the afternoon, wind chills in those minus mid-20s. That's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at Fifth Avenue Volkswagen.
Thank you, Danielle. Alberta's police watchdog has cleared the Calgary officers who shot and killed a man in a 30-hour standoff nearly 2 years ago in the southeast community of Pembroke Meadows. Camilla DiGiuseppe joins us now, and Camilla, ACERT has concluded the man opened fire on police before they discharged their weapons.
Ian, the 11-page report indicates that Patrick Robert Kimmel was armed with multiple guns, lots of ammunition, body armor, and had no intention of surrendering to police peacefully. While attempting to execute a search warrant on March 14th, 2024, ACERT says 45-year-old Kimmel barricaded himself in the basement and began shooting through the windows, targeting officers in armored vehicles. Police returned gunfire. ACERT says Kimmel deliberately targeted members with the intent to kill or gravely injure them. They say Kimmel told police he didn't want to go to jail, told a negotiator he'd, quote, come out shooting, and threatened to detonate a grenade as a last resort. Police used several tactics to get Kimmel out, from deploying gas and filling the basement with water. On March 15th, the next day, Kimmel, wearing a tactical vest with a live grenade attached, fired a loaded shotgun at 5 officers in the backyard. Acert says they returned fire, striking him 12 times, killing him. Now, Acert says that there is no doubt officers responded reasonably, adding each of them believed that they, other officers, and civilians in the area were in danger when Kimmel first started shooting at police. The officers involved will not face any charges. Ian.
Thank you, Camilla. A person is in hospital after a stabbing in the Southwest. Police were called to a strip mall off Richmond Road and 29th Street Southwest around 1:30 p.m. A person was taken to hospital in serious but stable condition. Nobody has been arrested, and police believe the attack was targeted. Premier Danielle Smith is once again being called on to defend one of her staffers over a controversial statement made on X, formerly known as Twitter. Bruce McAllister heads the Premier's Calgary office and was the chair of the Alberta Next Commission. Wednesday, responding to immigration statistics from the last 25 years showing an increase in Canada's population, he wrote, "The people orchestrating this reckless, unsustainable mass immigration into Canada fill me with profound disgust." In the lengthy post, he went on to say, why import from nations with failed systems when our Judeo-Christian heritage and principles have worked so well here? McAllister declined to comment to CTV today, but in a news conference, Smith was asked to clarify her aide's remarks.
Western society is based on the Socratic Judeo-Christian tradition. If you go back and look about why it is we have the society we do, there's no question that there are some foundational influences to that. However, Alberta was also created since 1905 based on the immense diaspora communities that come here.
Smith's chief of staff also posted about immigration, hinting the Premier would make an announcement or would have an announcement to make during her televised speech to Albertans on Thursday night. That can be seen live here on CTV at 6:45. Following months of delays, the province is set to release its passenger rail master plan, and one proponent hopes the downtown Calgary to Banff rail project will be included. Lyricon Capital is proposing a hydrogen-powered passenger rail train. It submitted the project to the Major Projects Office in December. However, it's contingent on the province building a line from downtown Calgary to the airport. Lyricon will fund its portion of that project without taxpayers' money. As Ottawa awaits the province's master rail plan, it's unclear what type of federal money could be accessed.
Their project would have to be, the hard part would be built through, of course, Indigenous lands as well as through the mountain parks. And so we can assist, I think, on the integration and some of that discussion, but I think you'll see what our priorities are when we release the report in a couple of weeks. There's I think 8 or 9 different segments.
Behind the Banff to downtown route wants trains to be rolling by 2030. A ride would cost Alberta residents about $30. Hundreds of schools across Alberta will soon have teams to help address complexities in the classroom, but not all divisions are getting the same support. The province is spending $143 million on complexity teams for nearly 480 schools. The teams are made up of 2 educational assistants and 1 teacher. The CBE will see complexity teams at 118 schools, while only 53 Catholic schools will get complexity team support. To decide where the resources should go, the province looked at 9 complexities, such as learning disabilities and English as an additional language.
There's 655 classrooms that they identified, but they're only providing funding for 476 teams. If they identified 655, then we should have 655 complexity teams going into schools.
The Alberta Teachers Association hopes next week's provincial budget continues to address these issues. The education minister says he is confident this first step will help ease some of the pressure schools and teachers are facing, and more supports will be rolled out soon. There's a new equation in Canadian politics. Just ahead, the Liberals add another seat as an Edmonton MP crosses the floor from the Conservatives. And more funds to address the city's housing shortage, with hundreds of affordable homes coming soon. Also, if you have a news tip, text us at 10400. A rockslide has forced the closure of Highway 93 South north of Radium. It happened in Sinclair Canyon. Linda Tutt came across it shortly after it occurred and captured this photo of rocks on the road. There are no reports of injuries. Parks Canada says the highway is closed in both directions between the Kootenay National Park West boundary and the McKay Creek Operations Centre. The Radium Hot Springs pools are also closed until an engineer determines when the highway can reopen. Reopening is not expected until tomorrow afternoon. The city has announced which nonprofits will receive nearly $30 million for the second round of the Housing Capital Initiative. The money is going to 6 different nonprofits to build 8 projects. That will include 566 non-market units. One project is a downtown office conversion, and the rest are new builds. The units range from studios to townhomes and are spread across the city.
This means Calgarians who are struggling to afford rising market rents, living in their cars, staying in an unsafe or unsuitable housing environment, facing uncertainty about where they will sleep every night. This is life-changing. It's a safe, stable, adequate, affordable place to call home. A place to rest, a place to heal, a place to build a future with their families.
This funding marks the completion of a $60 million municipal commitment to affordable housing, creating over 1,000 units in total. The city hopes the money will act as a catalyst to unlock even more support from the province and the federal government. Another Conservative MP has crossed the floor and joined the Liberals. Matt Genereux is the MP for Edmonton Riverbend. He met this morning in Edmonton with Prime Minister Mark Carney. Genereux is the 3rd Conservative MP to cross the floor in as many months. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says Genereux has betrayed voters in Edmonton Riverbend. The Liberals now have 169 seats compared to 171 for the opposition. There are 3 vacancies in Parliament, and there will be by-elections in the Toronto ridings once held by Liberals Chrystia Freeland and Bill Blair, and also one in Quebec. Some Calgary students are putting on a special performance to celebrate the Lunar New Year. Kindergarten to grade 4 students from Highwood School putting on a show in Mandarin and English at the Jubilee Auditorium. It's part of the Calgary Board of Education's Mandarin bilingual program and a chance for the kids to demonstrate their language and cultural understanding skills rather. Schools that are part of the bilingual program are putting on these shows throughout the week to ring in the Year of the Horse.
Aw, cute.
That's lovely indeed. I got to say, next to the backup camera, the heated steering wheel and heated seats, I think, are the most marvelous automotive progress invention. Yeah.
They are sure helpful.
They sure are.
Because even though we've been talking about this for about a week, and I've been mentally prepping myself, I still, it still takes a bit to adjust, for sure. Even just timing, giving yourself all the extra time and all the time to put on all the layers that you need to put on, and for commuting, et cetera, et cetera. All right, visibility is a little on the low side. We have some light snow flurries here and there, very isolated, just pushing through. No accumulation from this, but it is reducing visibility out there in some spots. All right, 39 kilometers per hour. That was the max gust in Calgary today. That's a cold wind out of the north. You basically have a protective layer on your skin, and the wind erodes that layer. So as the wind picks up, the wind chill, well, it gets worse and worse. And we certainly have wind chill that we're dealing with out there. And even gustier conditions through Brooks today. Drumheller got to 35, Medicine Hat 46, and 35 in Lethbridge. So that definitely adds to the wind chill and the bite that it does to your skin for sure. So frostbite is possible in less than 30 minutes, and in some cases when it reaches the higher 30s in about 15 to 20 minutes. So bundle up for sure. Minus 31 is what it feels like right now in the city. Feels more like minus 28 in Claresholm, minus 26 in Pincher Creek. Medicine Hat feels more like minus 31. All right, there's that system off to the east, pushing already past Saskatchewan by this point. There is a stateside low that's pushing a few flurries up, as you can see here. Very isolated, not significant at all, but certainly, as you saw by the live shot, reducing visibility out there and still adding to the already slick conditions in some spots. The clouds will clear out tonight. So this is your 24-hour futurecast here. There's the clouds clearing out. So tomorrow, sunshine, which won't make things much warmer tomorrow. It's still very cold tomorrow with regards to the temperature and the wind chill, but the sun does help when it's bright and it shines on you when it's really cold. Okay, upper air analysis. The key thing with this is the jet stream right now is all the way down by Texas. This jet stream in the darker green here was all the way up in the territories, allowing for that warmer push of air for the last few weeks. That's why we had warm temperatures. This will start to move up, so temperatures will regulate a little bit on Friday, but then start to drop later on Saturday once again. So it's a cold weekend ahead as well. You're not going to see normal temperatures closer to that freezing mark until about Tuesday of next week. All right, minus 16 is our high tomorrow, but be prepared and brace yourself for the morning commute. Minus 37 will be the wind chill, so that's definitely frigid. Minus 8, there's that somewhat regulated high for Friday, and then back into the double digits for Saturday. Minus 9 for Sunday. Monday, still minus 7.
The province says Albertans are one step closer to getting the right long-term care for seniors. Today, the government announced a new assisted living navigation portal, a one-stop shop where people can fill out a questionnaire and then be directed to long-term care options. There will be information available about available services, out-of-pocket costs, and vacancies. By 2035, it's estimated there will be 1 million seniors in Alberta. The strike at Air Canada last summer had quite an impact on people's vacation plans, but now the labor dispute is officially over. Still ahead, the salary hikes flight attendants will get. Home prices in Canada slide in January. Joining me is Robert Geary, investment advisor with the Popwich Carmali Advisory Group. And first of all, Rob, how did the markets close out the day?
Yeah, the two things to kind of take away from the markets today were they were all up, and one that was up was oil. That was on the back of talks breaking down between the U.S. and Iran, and them closing the Strait of Hormuz here this morning. So it looks like escalation. So that drove energy prices higher, drove the TSX higher. Tech drove the rest of the markets higher here today.
And in many Canadian cities, housing prices are becoming a little more affordable.
Yes, this is an interesting last report from January, and this is national sales, how many sales were up here in January. Sales declined in January by quite a bit, and listings were up. So this is a kind of a dichotomy of what's happening. A lot of people are eager to get their houses on their market and sold, but people are kind of hesitating on the backs of weather, seasonality. People aren't out there looking. We also have a little bit of unrest, right? I think that people are kind of waiting for trade deals to surface to see if their sectors aren't affected in any way. And so that's kind of creating this kind of conundrum. But I'll be watching first-time home buyers if they start entering the market here, because you have rates down and you have prices falling because of this. So we'll have to see if they start dipping in.
Mm-hmm. Meantime, Canada's uranium industry is looking for investors.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. We saw this in the automotive sector years ago, where they, were the investors in lithium mines, and now we're seeing this, the data centers saying, we're going to need energy here. And so now you have companies like NextGen that operate huge mines out of Saskatchewan saying, hey, we need money to invest. You're the ones who need it. Why not invest in the actual mine itself? Uranium prices are skyrocketing, and you can benefit from both sides of this. And the uranium side, they can benefit from an influx of investment. So this is a trend we're going to see move going forward for sure.
All right. Thanks for the update.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Flight attendants with Air Canada finally have a formal contract several months after they went on strike last summer. An arbitrator has approved wage increases for the flight attendants. Most junior flight attendants will get a 12% raise, and more senior members will get an 8% raise. Flight attendants at Air Canada Rouge will get a 13% increase, 1% higher than was offered in the initial tentative agreement. There are also smaller increases in the next 3 years of the contract, which runs until 2029. Well, first it was snow. Now Calgarians are dealing with extreme cold weather. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. This blast of freezing weather is especially difficult, of course, for the city's most vulnerable. We'll chat with organizations supporting the city's unhoused population as they are seeking shelter from these biting temperatures. Also ahead, a private company has an ambitious plan to build a train to the mountains. They would like to be providing that rail transport to Banff by 2030. Can it be done, and who's paying? We'll have more details at 6. Ian.
Thank you, Tara. Well, we are warming up a bit the closer we get to the weekend. Right now, though, in Calgary, pretty cold, minus 23 degrees and a wind chill of minus 31. Danielle has details coming up. So looking on the bright side.
I love this.
Okay,
yes.
Once we get the wind chills around the minus 30s out of the way,
yep.
That may be our last cold snap for the season. Could be.
Could be.
Let's hope.
That's a stretch, Ian. But I like your thinking. Okay, minus 23 currently, that's just the ambient temperature. It feels more like minus 32, minus 33 with the wind chill. Tomorrow morning will be the coldest part of this cold spell, with a wind chill of minus 37 when off to work and school. In the afternoon, minus 16 as the high, regulating a bit by minus Friday to minus 8.
Thanks, Danielle. A University of Calgary student is making a name for himself in NASCAR without ever setting foot on a real racetrack.
Gonna have to dive for it. Down the back straightaway for the final time. The Calgary Dinos got a shot at this.
At just 19 years old, Connor Juroschak sits at the top of the collegiate NASCAR series and is the lone Canadian representing the University of Calgary against drivers from mainly American schools. Racing from his home in Cochrane, Juroschak has quickly become one of the most consistent names on the virtual grid, capturing back-to-back tournament wins this season at Daytona and Iowa. The races take place on the simulation platform iRacing using real-world tracks.
There's tons going on, and I mean, you're always thinking about strategies. You're thinking about how you're going to adjust the car, change the setups, what tire strategy you're on. But that's one thing I've always enjoyed about NASCAR is you're always racing the people around you more so than you're racing the tracks.
And getting a win in any of the season's races earns competitors $3,000 in scholarships. Juroschak is now setting his sights on the overall title, a victory that would add $10,000 more to his scholarship earnings. Thank you for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.